I refuse to cook gluten-free or take my near-adult son out to eat. My son Jake is 17. A few months back, he started complaining about stomach problems. Bad ones. We went to the doctor 3 times before they finally figured it out. Wheat allergy. Not celiac, but bad enough that the doctor said it could get worse if he kept eating it. I spent 2 weeks learning everything about gluten. I read every label at the grocery store. I bought alternative flours and spent like $400 at Whole Foods getting him safe snacks. I made gluten-free pancakes that tasted like cardboard, but I kept trying. I bought him these protein bars that cost $6 each. I learned how to make gluten-free pasta that didn't fall apart. Then I found out he was spending his entire paycheck from his after-school job on biscuits from the cafeteria, $20 a week on bread and pastries. His friend told me he saw Jake eating a huge sandwich at lunch. When I asked him about it, he just shrugged and said it tasted good. I took him back to the doctor. The doctor told him straight up that his body was giving him a warning, and if he kept ignoring it, things would get way worse. Jake nodded and said he understood. That weekend, he came home covered in hives. His arms were red and bumpy. He admitted he ate pizza and birthday cake at his friend's house. I called the school. They said they had gluten-free options in the cafeteria, but they couldn't force him to pick those instead of regular food. He's 17, not 10. They can't follow him around. Last Tuesday, I made him gluten-free chicken and rice for dinner. He ate 2 bites, then went to his room. An hour later, I caught him in the kitchen eating regular bread with peanut butter, 4 slices. I asked him what he was doing and he said he was still hungry. I reminded him that bread was literally the thing making him sick. He said he knew, but the gluten-free stuff tasted bad. That Friday, my mother-in-law was visiting and she brought cookies. Regular cookies with flour. I told her Jake couldn't have them. She said, oh, just one won't hurt. Jake ate 6. He was in the bathroom for an hour that night. Sunday, we went out to dinner with my in-laws. I found a restaurant that had a whole gluten-free menu. I ordered Jake a gluten-free burger and fries, $26. Everyone else's meals were like $15. I made sure he was okay with it before I ordered. He said, yeah, it's fine. The food came. Jake ate maybe 3 fries. Then when no one was looking, he reached over and grabbed a regular roll from the bread basket. Then he took a bite of his dad's sandwich. Then he grabbed some pasta off his grandmother's plate. My mother-in-law didn't stop him. She just smiled and said he's a growing boy. On the drive home, the car smelled terrible. Jake was in the back seat holding his stomach. I asked him if he ate wheat and he said no. His little brother said, yes, you did. I saw you eat the bread. Jake finally admitted it. He said the gluten-free burger looked gross. He wanted to stay home from school the next day because his stomach hurt. I said no. I told him I wasn't cooking gluten-free anymore. If he was going to eat regular food anyway, then I wasn't spending extra money and time on meals he wouldn't eat. He got mad and said I was being unfair. I said he was 17 and making his own choices so he could deal with it himself. I stopped buying the expensive gluten-free snacks. I stopped making separate meals. When we went out to eat the next week, I ordered him whatever was cheapest on the menu. He complained that it had wheat in it. I said I know. He asked why I wasn't getting him the gluten-free option. I told him there was no point since he was going to eat gluten anyway. He sat there and didn't eat anything. Jake hasn't eaten dinner at home in 4 days. He buys fast food with his paycheck, then comes home and goes straight to the bathroom.